if you're gonna freestyle, it cannot be till you're senile. So you can freestyle, that's fine, but do not do it until you're senile. Just before you're about to push to the point of senility.
Yes.
And I used to think Eminem was better than me.
What you saying right
He
now?
not. He not. He's not.
Who?
The Game finally dropped his Drillmatic Heart vs. Mind album, and it's one of the most controversial ones we've seen drop this year. Game's latest project is what people have been talking about lately, and it's probably not what you expected it to be. The diss tracks on this album are real, especially the track Black Slim Shady, which the fans have been waiting for ages because it's the track that takes a direct diss at one of rap's biggest names, Eminem, aka the real Slim Shady. And it looks like Eminem finally gave the Game a response for constantly dragging and using his name. As you all know by now, the Game dropped his latest album, which is a huge project coming from his side. Having 30 tracks on your album is not something we see often, not to mention all the big names that he got going on, from Kanye, Ty Dolla $ign, and A$AP Rocky to Blueface, Big Sean, Pusha T, and 2 Chainz. This man has half of the rap game on there. From rookies to vets, he's got them all. However, despite the presence of such a big number of artists and big number of songs, the album isn't really what the fans expected. Some of them found the album to be a success, but the majority of them just not impressed. It's certainly not the best album of the year like Game had predicted, and it's probably not his best piece either. A simple look at some of the comments that turned up when the Game announced his tour will tell you everything you need to know. There are a couple of reasons why this album got on people's bad side, but the biggest of them all, and the one we want to talk about here, is the infamous diss track that the whole rap game is talking about. That's right, we're talking about the Black Slim Shady, the 23rd track on the album. You've surely heard all about the Game going on interviews talking about it, and you might have probably heard the track when he is dissing Eminem. But why did the Game really come for Eminem in the first place? It's not really a surprise that the Game is known to diss people before he drops stuff. It's his marketing ploy. Back in the time of his alliance with 50 and G-Unit, it was the Memphis Bleak and Joe Budden. Now it's Eminem. Times may have changed, but the Game is still doing the same old stuff. Whose name is better for attracting attention than M's? Let's get a bit deeper into what exactly it is that the Game did this time around. So the track Black Slim Shady very obviously references not only a huge number of Eminem's tracks, but also the movie 8 Mile. Also, it should be said that the track isn't entirely about M, but in most of it, he does reference not only him, but his daughter, his parents, and a lot more. Well, we'll get to all that in a second. At the very beginning of the track, the Game says, "Hey grandma, yeah, I'm still making my Uber runs. I'll be home soon. I just got one more pickup kinda close to 8 Mile. It's clearly a skit where the Uber driver is driving the Game around Detroit, and it's somewhere near 8 Mile. The Game then quickly discovers that the man driving is Matthew Mitchell. The brother is Stan Mitchell, the Eminem fan who died on Eminem's 2000 track about an obsessed fan called Stan. In the second interlude, we find out that Mitchell doesn't like M anymore, even though he still carries the cap that M signed for his brother. The reason why he doesn't bang to Eminem no more is that he's now a washed-up rapper and doesn't make good music. Clearly, that's what the Game thinks of M. Then in the intro, the Game goes on to say "Shady," which is a mix of the old G-Unit tag and the way Eminem says the word shady in his song Hello. Throughout the song and on its chorus, the Game says, "Hi, I'm the Black Slim Shady," the same way that M introduces himself with saying, "Hi, my name is Slim Shady" on his hit track, My Name Is. The only difference between M and the Game is that he's black and Shady isn't. The entire song, we can hear the Game stressing and pointing out the fact that M is white and he's black. He believes that the reason why he succeeded in the Game is that he's always hung out with black people who pushed his music in a branch of the music industry in which black people find the most success. If it wasn't for black artists hanging out with Eminem, he would have never gotten the status he has today. Then the Game goes after people close to Eminem. First, it's the legendary producer Dr. Dre. The same way that Eminem raps in his real Slim Shady, the Game says that he killed Dr. Dre and that he's in the basement. "I killed Dr. Dre in my basement last night. I was wasted last night. I went apeshit last night." On the third verse, he takes it even further with Dre. He goes at Dre because he picked to produce M's song and left him out dry when he was making his own album, The Doctor's Advocate. He wasn't there to help out a Compton native and chose an artist from Detroit, M. That was considered a backstab by the game. The game also said he knocked the hell out of M if they ever got in a fight. That's why in the same verse he rhymes, "So Ficky Ficky Slim Shady, please stand up. Shoot the fade with me, I'd love to put these hands up. I could 40 Glock you unarmed, drop the world on your head with one arm." The game reminded us all about the time that he went at 40 Glock's neck. He threw a couple of punches at 40 and it was quite a mess. In this verse, the game also calls out M's daughter, Hailie. He says that he's kidnapped her. "Dear Slim, Hailie's with me and she's unharmed for now. These are the deepest secrets I keep and I be on defense, cause G's ain't supposed to fold up." The game used Hailie's name trying to provoke a reaction from Eminem. He even posted on her pictures on social media. He had this one comment saying, "Can she rap?" Hailie Jade heard the fact that her name has been referenced in a song, and he noticed the game lurking in her comment section. Believe it or not, she had something to say about it herself. She absolutely decimated the game by saying, "My dad is so legendary that the people have to diss him in their songs just to attract audience because they know they would flunk without attention." People had all kinds of reactions to the comments. Many people thought her comment was bigger than the whole track that the game made. The one comment reads, "That tweet was a better diss than the game's whole diss track, LOL. We don't need an M diss track, Hailie would be enough to end the game." Perhaps, perhaps not. One thing that the game had to say at the end of the Black Slim Shady kinda got us wondering what the purpose of this entire track was. In the outro, the game says this, "Mr. Shady, don't be shady, pick up that pen, don't be lazy, call up Dre and get that Dre beat, jump off stage if get crazy." It's quite obvious that the whole track intended to provoke some sort of reaction from Eminem. The reaction in a form of a track that would come back to bite the game. That's what he wants. That's his whole narrative on this one. The numerous Slim Shady references, how he copies his style, his flow, and how he puts his information about his personal life, it's all just bait. He wants to see M swimming in the music industry again. He wants him to drop music again. Why? Because the game thinks you can only be the best if you're still making new tracks and still proving your point. You can't live off old glory if you ask him. That is precisely the reason why this diss track came out in the first place. He just wants to see M resurrect and return to the throne if he's still worthy of it. However, if that doesn't happen, and we really do see Eminem dropping a new track, all the fans who are fearing for Game's career might be right. If M replied to MGK way back and honestly ruined his reputation in the rap industry so much so that MGK switched genres, perhaps he will drop a track or two for the game too. Even if he doesn't, it will still send a clear message. The game just isn't worth his time. What's all y'all's opinion on the new album that the game dropped? Is it in the ranks of his previous work? Do you think we'll ever see Eminem drop some new music about the game? Or is his daughter the only response that we're going to see in regards to this new diss? Let us know what you think all about in the comments section below. If you found this video interesting, then feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And make sure to check out this video too. And as always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.